Right now, something is trying to move in and eat you. Bacteria, viruses, fungi in numbers you cannot picture, and they have been at it every moment you have been alive. The only reason you are not a warm buffet is that you are carrying a private army. Border guards, shock troops, a spy who makes the decisions, and factories that build custom weapons to order. So let us follow that army through one small, stupid, completely ordinary war. It starts with a nail. A nice day, bare feet in the garden, and then a rusty nail standing up out of an old plank exactly where your heel is going. Your skin is the wall around the entire city, and a wall with a hole in it is just scenery. Bacteria that sat harmlessly on that nail drop through into warm, wet, food-rich territory, the finest real estate they will ever occupy. So they eat and they split. One becomes two in about 20 minutes. Leave it one afternoon, and a founding handful is a city. For a while, they stay quiet on purpose, but bacteria can count. Once enough of them are crammed into that wound, they flip a switch together and start tearing up the tissue. Luckily, somebody is already standing there, parked in every border zone of your body, skin, gut, lungs, anywhere the outside touches the inside, sit enormous cells called macrophages. Big, patient, permanently hungry. One of them can put away about 100 invaders before it is spent. It does not stab or shoot. It flows around a bacterium, folds it into a sealed bubble, and floods it with enzymes until nothing is left but spare parts. And while it works, it does something clever. It tells the blood vessels nearby to go leaky, so fluid pours into the wound and reinforcements can swim straight in. You know that as the puffy, tender lump around a cut. The lump is not damage. The lump is logistics, which raises the obvious complaint. If your side is winning, why does the wound go red and hot and hurt every time you knock it? Because most of that mess is friendly fire, and it is on purpose. When the guards have been grinding away too long, they scream chemically, proteins that carry both an address and a level of panic. Neutrophils read it, abandon their patrol routes in the bloodstream, and pile in. Neutrophils are not surgeons. They spray chemicals that kill whatever is nearby, your own tissue included, and they fling out sticky nets that snare bacteria and finish them there. They are so dangerous that they ship with an expiry date. After roughly 5 days, they take themselves apart before they can wreck the neighborhood they were sent to rescue. If that is still not enough, the fighting itself calls in something smarter. A dendritic cell walks into the wound, and it has not come to fight. It has come to shop. It collects pieces of the enemy, shreds them into fragments, and pins those fragments to its own outer surface like samples on a tray. Then it makes the biggest call of the whole infection. There are two completely different armies it can wake. One hunts down your own infected cells and destroys them, which is what you want against a virus. The other kills bacteria loose in the tissue. Choose wrong and the entire response is wasted. It reads the wound, picks the bacteria killers, and starts walking. The nearest lymph node is roughly a day away. A lymph node is where the specialists are stored. Billions of them, every one useless except against a single specific target. That is down to how they are made. Each T cell is born with a random configuration, then run through training so harsh that only about a quarter come out alive. So the dendritic cell goes shopping in reverse, pressing its samples against T cell after T cell until one fits. And when one fits, everything happens at once. That helper T cell copies itself thousands of times over. Some stay behind as living memory of this enemy. Some set off for the wound, and some go hunting for a B cell carrying the same matching configuration. Because a B cell is not a soldier. A B cell is a factory. Switched on, the factory starts stamping out antibodies, small proteins shaped to lock onto the surface of this exact intruder and nothing else. Several types exist, and the helper T cells choose which one this invasion needs most. It works so hard it will die of exhaustion, and helper T cells stand over it, telling it not to quit yet, then telling it when to stop. So you are not arming for a war that ended. Down in the wound, things look grim. The bacteria have multiplied, the defenders are dying, and helper T cells can only urge them to fight harder and hold on longer. Then the second wave lands. Millions of antibodies flood the tissue. Some jam the bacteria outright. The rest work as handles because the free end of an antibody is built to be grabbed by a killer, and a macrophage will cheerfully hoover up anything wearing one, and the balance tips. The infection is finished by a team whose members never met. The bill is millions of your own cells dead. Your body replaces them without comment, like a city repaving a road. The soldiers go quiet as well. Without the constant chemical shouting that kept them switched on, most shut themselves down on purpose because an army you no longer need is only an expense. A few stay. Memory cells settle into the lymph node holding the exact blueprint of whatever came through that nail. If it tries again, it dies long before you notice. And that was the cartoon version. Look hard at something ordinary, a scab on a heel, and it stops being ordinary. That is the deal you get for paying attention.